passing an exam. It's important. You need to pass. You understand? Get an A. Be excellent. But it's beyond that one. You are here primarily, number one, for the education of your mind. You understand? You are here to develop your mind, your abilities. In my opinion, I think distinctions are good. I think distinctions are good. No, I think it's bad to fail. Don't you think so? It is bad to fail. To get to be an A plus student is a good. Nothing. Nothing. Is beyond. Is beyond. The scope. The scope of my knowledge. Of my knowledge. It means solve or X is nothing you cannot do. You understand? Accounting is nothing you cannot pass. There's no reason why you should get an A. If there's nothing that is beyond your scope of knowledge, you should all be excellent in your studies. Say amen. Amen. Show what you need. Manifest your abilities. It doesn't require compromise. It requires needs that are in your world to be met by not any individual but you. Change the world. Hello, my name is Treasure Mkondo. What I want to talk to you about is youth and education today. This is just about in every country all over the world. We understand to some extent the importance of education. We understand that we need to go to school. But I think what we haven't really grasped, as it is, I'm going to particularly look into this as far as Africa is concerned, is exactly the purpose for education. We are constantly sending people to school, investing a lot of money into our educational system, but we don't really understand, as it seems, the purpose for education. Some are going to school as one of the things they do as they grow up. It seems to be some sort of a routine that you have to do when you grow up. It don't seem to have some sort of significance, value as it is, like something just separate from the general perception and the concept of education. To begin with it, if you have difficulties, for instance, waking up to school in the morning, that's the beginning of, to show that you don't understand the purpose for education. If you need supervision to study your books, to do the work at school, to be focused, composed in the classroom, is to begin to show that you don't understand the purpose for education. So talking about youth and education, I understand that most of us who have access to education are exposed to this, as in like we do go to school. But do we really understand what education is all about? If we really do, why would we graduate from school and then still have issues with things such as unemployment and still transfer blame to maybe our governments for unemployment? What causes these things? Is it because of we went to school to graduate to look for a job? Or we went to school to educate our minds so we can be independent? Is it the way I think about it as a graduation from any college, any university, be unto independence? You can't graduate from school to dependence. You should be independent as it is. But to begin with it is to begin to annul some of the things that are currently happening. You see, in our time, specifically, let me look at this first, South Africa, for instance, concerned. We think of it something normal to have a learner at the matric level. We call it matric level in South Africa when you're doing grade 12. That is the last level of high school as it is. You have somebody at the matric, level who doesn't know what he wants to do or what she wants to do at the university. I mean, you spent at least 12 years in school. You are at the matric level, the final level, and you still have no clue about what to do at the university. Sometimes we have people, at high school who choose, maybe say physics or maths as their subjects that they want to major in, you understand? So what happens is, these individuals as it is, after choosing these subjects, they do them at least from grade 10 or even grade 8 until grade 12. And then when they matriculate, they go to university to do a course that is totally different from anything they were doing at high school. You can imagine doing math and physics in high school to go and do something that has to do with tourism at the university. It's contradicting. You can't have any solid life. You can't have any sort of impact, any sort of influence in your society if that's the type of life that you're pursuing. Or worse, we have people who graduate from the university. You begin to look into them, they still have no clue. I mean, they graduate from university, you ask them what you want to do with their life, and they don't know. You see, and we are hoping to make our nations better. You see, the focus of every nation, in most cases, is on the youth. And that's why you find that we invest so much money as nations as it is in education, because we believe that if somebody's going to change our countries, if somebody's going to change our nations, make them better, the youth it is. The youth is responsible for that. But until and unless we bring a sense of purpose into our education system, even if we're going to school, we're going to yield any sort of tangible outcome. So what I'm bringing into attention now is whatever sort of graduation, at any university, any college whatsoever, should be into independence. Going to school is for training your mind to think and to solve problems. You see, when you train your mind to think and to solve problems, you become valuable in your society because you see, you can be trusted as it is to take certain measures. You understand? To take certain decisions to change certain things. You can be trusted with certain amount of work. You see, you can be trusted that you can bring the positive change. But if you're going to school, like the general perception has it, to go there to be trained on what to think and not how to think, because our current education system, just about in every society, or rather every nation, is to train people what to think, and that's why you find people constantly failing in life. If you're trained what to think, that's what happens when you have a graduate who complains about unemployment. This guy was trained to think. He thinks that he graduated, now that he has a degree, maybe in mechanical engineering, he needs to take it somewhere and submit it and get a job. That's what it means to be trained on what to think. How to think, however, is being trained on how to do something. You see, besides following and fitting into the opinions other people have already said about you, you do something beyond that. So the person who's been trained on how to think is a person who graduates from a university and thinks, well, it's about time. I need to do something for my nation. I'm not going to wait for the nation to do something for me. I'm going to be doing something for my nation. If you're at a high school level, bring a sense of purpose into your life first. It's not so much about the principal or teacher who needs to bring it into your life. You need to do it. What I mean by that is you can matriculate. You can get to the last level of the high school and you're still thinking, what am I supposed to do when I get to the university? You should already know that. If you're going to bring a change, a necessary change in your nation because of your education, you're going to have a sense of purpose as far as your education is concerned. I tell you, education or any field of study, whether it's engineering, whether it's accountancy or anything like that, was never meant for employment. All of these fields of study, they were never meant for employment. They are not fields for training to get people to be employed somewhere. No, they're to train people to be independent. You see, that's the purpose for education. So youth and education, as far as we are concerned, is a platform of training. I believe, in my own opinion, that the educational platform or the education environment is one of the greatest platforms we'll ever have for human development. But until and unless we change our minds to being, thinking that the education system is tailored to get us an opportunity to be employed, to being deployed, we really can make the difference in our societies. So I'm telling you about education so that you can stop thinking about it as something, first as a burden, secondarily as something that grants you an opportunity to be employed. I want you to know that education is for independence. It is for responsibility. In the previous show I had, one of the things I discussed was that education is what helps you train and develop your gifts and your abilities. If my gifts and my abilities, for instance, are developed, I can be looking up to other people for something. That means I can be responsible now because you see, I have a gift that's refined. That means I can put it to use. I can practice it now. You understand? I can bring certain things new into my life or into the lives of others, those around me and the world at large, because of that refined gift, that developed ability. To bring an example, I'll give an example with a young man like Mark Zuckerberg. You see, Mark Zuckerberg had a gift for computer programming. He developed it while he was still young. If you read his history, you'll understand that his father taught him programming, the language C++ back in those days. And so he grew up in an environment of programming. These guys, later used the programming language to create what we call the Facebook today. It's a major social networking site. You see, it's true. I mean, he used his gift to develop something. He didn't wait for somebody to give him a responsibility, for someone to give him a job. He thought, let me do something with what I've learned. You understand? So when we talk about education, it goes beyond passing an exam. It goes beyond getting a degree. It's about what you do with what you learn in the classroom, beyond the classroom. For instance, if I studied IT, I should be able to use IT beyond the classroom. That is beyond the idea of getting a job, the idea of I need to work for someone and earn a salary. No, it's about what can I do with IT to change my world? What can I do with IT to improve the lives of those around me? That's the education system we're supposed to embrace. You are a youth. I know you have a lot of things to do with education, but The point I'm bringing to your mind is that you've been going to school. Just about maybe all of us have been going to school, but it's meaningless until we bring a sense of purpose into our education system. Something that will make us independent. An education system that will deploy us instead of employing us. You can't be expecting to change lives all over the world if you're still in pursuit of the employment title. No, you gotta be in pursuit of something more than that. You gotta be in pursuit of how can you possibly help me when you are still depending on other people. You can't. How can you change the world if you're still depending on other people? You can't. Because you may have a heart to help them. But you see, until and unless you are no longer depending on others, you can't really help other people. You may have a heart for it, but that's not enough. You gotta be independent. You gotta be, be able to stand on your own so you can help others stand. It goes beyond, literally thinking because you get into this company and then they'll pay you such an amount of money that will change that. It won't. The point I'm driving into your heart today is education in itself is more than what we have thought about. To sum it up, because I don't have much time, to sum it up is graduate to independence and bring a sense of purpose. Don't wait for the education system to do that. You first discover your own self, discover your purpose, and then bring the sense of purpose into your education system. Know that, okay, I'm here for training, for development. And that when you live there, it's not for employment, but for independence. Pursue it. Try by all means. If there's something you need to achieve in your life, is to be independent. You need that one. And if you can achieve that one, I tell you, you are ready for national change. You are ready for global change. Because all people who are helping others somewhere are those who can stand by themselves, who are not depending on other people. I love you and may God bless you. See you next time.